Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Deck Deck Bros podcast. It's your boy, Master Damie,
This is Robbie Ray.
and today we're talking playoffs, basketball,
Play in,
play in,
play off,
playoff,
play on.
not in, Lakers. Moment of silence there for Robert as Gemma barks in the background.
Hey, Gemma. I know you're upset too.
We know. We started talking about Lakers. She started barking. It's just the time.
All right. I mean, we're just getting right into it,
We're
huh?
getting right into it. Sorry about that, listeners. Was not expecting that.
Just in case you guys don't know, obviously we're Laker fans, and so we're not happy. You know,
Yeah,
we
of
made all
course not.
these changes and additions to the team, and we expected more, and we did not get it. So
Very
it is
disappointing.
it is what it is. Hopefully they make some changes. Hopefully they figure out what they want to do for the future. I don't think Russell Westbrook's going to be here. I hope he's not here. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great season, and I don't think he really meshes well with the team. But, I'm not sure anybody really, really wants him right now. So it's going to be kind of tough to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. And
People are saying, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
People are saying that we should get rid of Anthony Davis, injury prone, all that stuff. I don't know about that. I feel like the times that he's played, he's been fairly, I mean, when he's healthy, he's great,
As
and obviously,
as we saw in
he,
2020.
right, and obviously he hasn't been healthy since 2020, really. I think they said he missed, like 70 plus games throughout the two seasons,
Yeah,
you know?
something like that.
So,
That's a full season almost that he missed
yeah,
in 2 years. So
for sure.
you know,
You know,
it's we kind of talked about it at the trade deadline. What the
and we thought that.
Lakers, what the Lakers needed to do to maybe bounce back in, get out of the
Mhm.
play in, and give them, but I guess when we said get out of the play in, they were just like, oh, all right, we're just going to be the 11th seed and not get in the playoffs at all. So,
Yeah,
I don't know. Talks of Frank Vogel getting fired.
I don't
Maybe.
like that.
I don't like that. I feel like, I, me personally, I don't feel like there was enough depth on the team to kind of
Mm-mm.
carry carry the load, right? So like
Hmm.
LeBron was hurt quite often. Anthony Davis was hurt
Half
80%
the
of the
season.
year, half
Yeah,
half the
if not
season.
more.
You know, um, it's tough. Me personally, I would love to see Russ win in LA. I want to see him succeed, but he's got to take a pay cut, in my opinion, if he's going to stay. But
Definitely.
if you're getting paid $44 million and had the year that you just had, I don't think you're going to back out of $44 million because I don't think you're going to get that anywhere else.
Mm-mm.
But we'll see. Um,
I mean, what do you think they need to do to change or to make the team better, right? And for me, like, I don't want to get rid of LeBron. I don't think we need to get rid of Davis. I don't think we need to get rid of Russ. You know, um, I just feel like we need to, like you said, like I don't think we had enough depth. And I read somewhere that we had what, like 30 something, like starting
we
lineups,
had more
like they're
starting lineups than wins.
yeah, we had, and so that's like there's no way. I don't care who you have on your team. If you have that many different starting lineups, you're not gonna make the playoffs. And
There's
I
not
think the fact that
consistency.
right, and the fact that we almost did make the playoffs kind of says something to the coaching staff,
Yeah.
right? That all the changes, all the different moves that they had to do, and they still were able to almost make the playoffs or make the play in
Yeah.
the Western Conference, right? So for me, it's not getting rid of Vogel. I think it's readjusting the entire team and figuring out like what do we need. And for me, I feel like we need shooters, and I think we need guys that are going to play hard. Like I really feel like we miss Alex Caruso this year more than ever. Like
Mm-hmm.
because he just brought the energy, and I
Yep.
didn't feel like the guys that we had there they didn't really have that. Like there's no like spark guy that we had,
Yeah.
you know. And I think with every championship team, we've always had a spark guy that brought the energy, you know.
I agree. I totally agree. I like I said, no depth. Team was way too old. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's guys on there that we love. You know, Trevor Ariza, former
Mm-hmm.
champ, love him. Didn't belong on this
Carmelo.
team. Carmelo. You know, as much as we want to see him win a ring, I mean, I feel like you could bring Melo back on that small deal, but he can't be the third option or the fourth option on your
Mm-mm.
team. Like he has to come off the bench.
Like he
He
has
ha-
to be
he has to
what
be
Ray,
six man. Yeah.
right? He has to be what Ray Allen was for the Heat.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
he's strictly shooter. Like
Yep.
nothing else. He came in and just shot the ball.
Yep. That's what needs to happen for the Lakers. Um, Anthony Davis has to be healthy.
All right.
LeBron has to be healthy, obviously. But as far as the depth, like we're just picking up guys on 10-day contracts.
Right.
They're just playing their hearts out. Would sign them, and then it just kind of fizzled out. You know, we didn't really have the consistency that we wanted. We gave Isaiah Thomas a shot. He was gone.
Yeah.
DJ Augustine got a shot towards the end there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the biggest thing for the Lakers is the role players were not, role players. I feel like we were better off keeping Schroeder, KCP, and Kuzma,
Yeah.
and and just rocking with run it back. I just add the little pieces that we needed, and it would have been a much better year. Probably sitting in a 5 or 6 seed, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, someone's got to take a pick. One of those that big three needs to get together and work out how they're gonna get key guys on that team
Yeah.
because them three couldn't do it. It didn't really, and they didn't get. I don't think they got enough games in together to be honest to like, you know, really create that chemistry that you need. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
How do you how do you feel? I know this was a while back, but um, I know Gemma. I great point. Um, what do you think about like I don't know if you would say chemistry or the relationship with the coaching staff and Russell Westbrook, right? Because there was talks of him coming off the bench, him not wanting to come off the bench, right? And then his role with the team, how he really didn't like it. Do you think there's a way for them to kind of figure that out in the off season, or is that something that he looks at and him not wanting to be here, or you think people made a bigger deal than what it really was?
I think this is why I think Russell is not leaving. If you're gonna fire Frank Vogel,
Mm-hmm.
it's because you want to keep Russell there. Because the whole
Ooh.
time, all year long, these guys are saying, we're not playing to our capabilities. It's not Frank's fault. Yada yada yada. He's a great coach, right? And then we get this other side of the tension in the locker room between the coaching staff and the
Mm-hmm.
player and Russell, and even
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like the front office, trying to like push the move. So it's either I don't know if it's between Frank and Russ, and Frank is going, I think Russ is staying. But if it's the front office, right? Because I can also see that part, where the front office is like, dude, like we told you to bench him, and you
Hmm.
kept starting him and playing him all these minutes, and look what happened. We didn't make the play out. We didn't make the play in. Now it's like, all right,
Hmm.
you're out, and we're gonna ship Russ out with you. It's like,
Right.
so I don't know. It's
Yeah, it depends on who really has the problem,
yeah,
right? Because there were talks of the front office having a problem. There was talks that Vogel and Russ had problems, and Russ didn't like how he was being used.
yeah,
Um, so it really depends. I think we'll find out, in the next couple months where they're taking the team
yeah.
and by the moves that they decide to go along with, whether it's coaching, whether it's shipping Russ. Um, you know,
All I'm going to say is I'm not very excited for the summer. I'm interested to see what the Lakers plan on doing moving forward. You got a LeBron who's like playing great basketball. He's still a top 5 player in the NBA,
Mhm.
and at his age, you don't know how many of those years you're gonna get from him. You know, is he gonna be Tom Brady and doesn't never age, or I mean,
I feel
in
like we're seeing. I think
I
I
think we're
feel like
seeing it in the injuries.
yeah.
Yeah, but as far as play goes, I don't. He has not slowed down a bit. Maybe just
Which
the vertical part of it, but I mean, what do you expect out of a 37, 38-year-old man?
yeah,
Like,
not even in vertical.
yeah,
I think which kind of also shows right is he might have to switch his gameplay a little bit if he wants to stay on the court. I think maybe the driving aspect and the vert and all that stuff and being the same type of player that he always was may have to change.
just a bit.
Um,
I feel like he has to turn it on from time to time.
no, for sure.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's kind of similar to like Derrick Rose, right? How he
mm-hmm.
was so explosive, right? But his body obviously just could not handle it with all the knee stuff, right? And then you look at Derrick Rose now, a different type of player, right? He changed,
yeah,
he learned a little bit, and he's still very explosive, but he's not to the point where he used to be, where he's attacking
yeah,
all the time. He uses his explosiveness and his elusiveness in a different way and he makes it work, right? I think the same way LeBron's gonna have to try to do it. Turn it on when he can't, like when he can, crunch time, but he's gonna have to pull it back a little bit just so like he could stay on the floor, because obviously injuries. Normally he's able to go all 82 basically, except for maybe like the times he has sat out for, here aches and pains here and there, right?
yeah,
But I think we knew when we got Davis that Davis was going to be the number one, and LeBron was going to kind of take the back seat on it, um, and that was going to kind of be able to relieve him a little bit. But it has not worked out that way, just because Davis hasn't been on the floor.
yeah.
You know.
Um, yeah, I agree. So let's kind of move this a little bit forward here.
Hmm.
Um, Going from a team that didn't get in to the teams that are playing in on Tuesday, right? And Wednesday we got some games here that are going to determine who get the 7th seed and who's going to be playing for the 8th seed here, right? So this is what the second year now that we had the play-in tournament. So one game for the 7 versus 8. Winner gets the 7th seed. Loser goes to play the winner of the 9th and 10th seed. Winner of the
Hmm.
9th and 10th seed plays the loser, and that loser is out, right?
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
The first game on this slate, the Cleveland Cavs and the Brooklyn Nets. Another team, right, from the Lakers to the Nets. The two teams people thought were going to be in the finals this year.
Mhm.
one out of the playoffs. The other, the seventh seed right now,
Mhm.
they win. They're the seventh seed and would go on to play uh, the Celtics. What do you think? You think this is a easy breezy game for the Nets now that they got, even without Ben Simmons, they got Kyrie and KD and the rest of the bunch? Or do you think, the young Buck Cavaliers led by Kevin Love are gonna?
That's a tough one, man. Because they're looking good.
Oh yeah,
You know, the young guys are looking good, but Ben Simmons is not going to play this year, huh?
it's not looking like it.
Okay, so um, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go ahead and say that the Nets are in this position because of Kyrie not being able to play home games, right? So that really affected because basically that left KD by himself, you know, with the whole thing with Harden and all that stuff, and then the trade. I mean, he was basically alone all the away games because Harden had his stuff, right? So, I think Brooklyn's going to take this. Kyrie doesn't have to worry about not having to play. I like the Cavs. I like what they're doing. I think they are, one. I'm not gonna say superstar. I'm gonna say like maybe another All Star away. You know, to actually kind of making a run here, which is awesome because they're young. They have a core young guys that they're gonna be looking promising in the next 2 3 years. But I think they do need uh an all star, bottom tier superstar, and I think they'll be solid.
Yeah, so I agree. I think the Nets would take this. It seems like they've got their mojo kind of, Um, get out, Gemma. So like I said, I think they got their mojo back, and
Think
honestly,
I got my swagger back.
and I don't know. I don't know how far they get, but I definitely don't see them losing on Tuesday. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. Like you said, the Cavs are young, they're good, um, and just to think, no Colin Sexton, who's
Yeah.
supposed to be their guy, right?
hmm
And they get this, and then Jared Allen is hurt now,
hmm
but they made the trade. They got guys that can take over a game and win it for them. They got
hmm
Evan Mobley. They got Laurie Markkinen. Kevin Love from time to time shows up and shows out. Darius Garland's a good point guard, and
Yep.
and Karis LeVert. We've seen a little bit what he can
hmm
do, and he's uh, it's not going to be an easy breezy game for the Nets.
No, definitely not.
So should be fun though, fun to watch. Um, but yeah, definitely. And just a heads up, just got a notification. The Lakers are parting ways with Frank Vogel as soon as tomorrow, apparently.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Monday.
Well, that kind of gives us our answer, huh?
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Um, but yeah, man. You know what? I'm looking at the East right now, and it's getting so much stronger. I'm starting to kind of like it.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. Remember back
Yeah,
then when it was just like
the
3 or 4
Cavs.
teams? It was the Cavs for a little bit. The Cavs. It's like, oh, Cavs Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like,
Right.
LeBron just owns DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry.
hmm Yeah.
But we the East is looking scared. It's like, I think the best thing about this, like, there's obviously favorites in this playoffs,
hmm
but there's a lot of depth. Like, there's a lot of teams that
Yeah.
like can make their way to the finals. Like, even in low seeds, like, you're like
hmm
dude, like, I don't know. It's this is like the first basketball playoffs where I'm like, dude, like, I'm excited for a lot of these games and series, like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's gonna be. I think this is gonna be one of the playoffs that's gonna be Um, Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think, especially with the West. I mean,
yeah,
I think for the past few years, it's always been the Warriors. And then now, um, you got the Suns. You got, I mean, like you could go. I went through basically, I would say six, maybe seven. I could see taking it.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but
Speaking of
if
seventh seed, the T Wolves
yeah.
and the Clippers are playing for the seventh seed.
Hmm.
You think Paul George is enough for the Clippers to take down the T Wolves?
No.
You think the T Wolves just take it easily? They've been
Yeah.
playing good. Anthony Edwards is good
Hmm.
in his second year.
Then you got
Um,
Cat.
they got Cat,
Yeah.
D'Lo,
Yeah.
Pat Bev is gonna get in somebody's head.
Hmm.
I mean,
Like, like I would say the T Wolves are but my
the dark horse.
yeah, the dark horse. I would say, I mean, I could see them taking out the Clippers and making a run if they get hot.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
definitely.
I mean, obviously they got to you know get through Memphis, but I think that's a good matchup for them.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like the T Wolves, they like the not only is I mean, Ja was in the playoffs with a lot. Was it? Did he make the playoffs or was he just in the play-in?
I think he was just in the play, and I don't think they made the
No,
playoffs.
the Warriors made it right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's the T Wolves. They're a good little team. This is Cat's first time in the playoffs.
Hmm.
See what he's made of. Um,
That's another team that they're just that's another team that they're like right there.
mm-hmm.
They're right there. If they get another key guy,
That they
you
need it.
know,
They just need the key guy. I think they already
yeah.
have the stars,
Hmm.
the all stars. They have Cat and Anthony Edwards is going to be a star,
Hmm.
and I don't know. Yeah, I got the T Wolves on that one. Um, Next one, we'll go back to the East. The not the Cavs. The
Atlanta and
Atlanta
Charlotte.
and Charlotte. I mean, from what
I, I'm going with I'm going with Trey.
yeah, that I was gonna say from what I saw last year from the Hawks and
Hmm.
specifically Trey Young, like what
He could put a team on his back,
yeah, he
bro.
can put a
I
team on his
dude,
back.
dude, I fucking love that he just played the villain.
When he was
I
in New
loved
York,
it.
and he
Yeah.
carried it into the season. When he
Yep.
remember when he beat him, I think it was like a month, like 2-3 weeks ago. They played the Knicks and
Hmm.
he beat them. Well, they beat the Hawks beat him, and he went. I think he dropped like 30, 40 points, and
Hmm.
he was still talking shit. It was like
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that because he doesn't seem like that type of
he
guy,
doesn't.
but like in that environment, he owned it, and it showed, man.
Especially with the like Nick fans are like so like passionate about the Knicks and like for
Hmm.
that even with Spike Lee and like
Yeah,
it's kind of like yeah, I think it added a little bit more flavor to
yeah,
that
it did.
series. Um, yeah, definitely. But I definitely see I can just see Trey Young just
Hmm.
dominating that game. I mean, Hornets. I feel like they've just been a little inconsistent.
Yeah,
Good little team too, but just inconsistent. And I think in a one game, if you can't stop Trey Young, he's gonna drop 50, 40, 50 points on you, and you're gonna be like, dude, uh, we're packing the bags.
yeah,
Let's go to Cancun.
yep.
Let's get
Basically,
on the banana boat with LeBron.
I mean, D Wade's retired, so
Three-fourths of
they
them
can
will
they
be
can
there.
do it.
3/4 will be
Yeah,
there. Can do it.
yeah.
Just waiting for Chris Paul to see how far he goes.
He ain't going anywhere.
The next one, right? The next game, the West, 9 and 10. The Spurs. Pop is not done. He finds his way into the playoffs yet again to take on
He will be done after that game.
the Pelicans. Yeah, McCollum, Ingram. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
Pelicans. I always feel like the Pelicans have like that. I don't see the Spurs beating them. Of course not. But
I don't think either of them are going far.
no. I feel like I think the line in the West stops at the T Wolves. Like you have those
Mm-hmm.
first 6 teams, I think can like make a push to the finals. Like any six,
Right.
if any 6 of those teams get hot,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
But the T Wolves, like,
they go all
also
the
it's like
way.
one of those teams. It's like if they get hot,
Yeah, I can see them
yeah.
taking it.
Clippers,
Um,
I'm not too sure if they got enough. I
mm-mm.
don't think Kawhi's coming back this year.
And then
But I mean,
Spurs
Paul,
and
yeah,
Pelicans either. You
yeah. I
know,
don't think they have enough to kind of do it. They, like I said, they got enough to get in this play-in. I don't know if they got enough juice to get through that.
yeah. So it's going T Wolves 7 seed, and then going Clippers 8 seed.
Yeah,
That's how it's looking.
that's how I'm looking at
For the East, we're going Brooklyn
Nets,
7 seed.
and then we have the cat. You would have the Cavs and the Hawks playing in that playing game, and I think that game can go either way.
Uh,
Like I said yet again, if Trey Young goes crazy, all right, they probably win
but
that
see,
game.
but for me, that's the hard. So
Yeah,
that's the hard part is Trey has to have a great game. I
yeah,
feel like
yeah. And the
you
Cavs,
know.
like they're deep enough to just like to beat you in a lot of other types of games. So it's like even if
Hmm.
their best guy is not their best, like they still have another guy who's just as good who's gonna kind of
Yeah.
put up those numbers too. So
Right.
I
So
give the
yeah,
edge to the Cavs,
I would say Cavs.
but what are you,
But
I'm rooting for Trey.
yeah, I want Trey to be in the playoffs, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean the Knicks are not there, but you know what? Maybe he'll find a villain in another city.
Miami.
Ruin that 1 seed Miami.
um, yeah. So there's a play in right there.
Yeah.
And then how you looking? You want to go through the whole playoffs, or you want to just your prediction for the West and your prediction for the East?
My prediction for the West and the East.
Okay.
From the Beast from the East,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucks are going back. There's a lot
Going
of
Bucks.
teams. There's a lot of teams there. This is the way I see it. Right? They're the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They got to play the Bulls, who have not played good against any top teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But I mean, DeMar's having a year.
he is having a year, but so is Giannis.
Yeah,
Like,
very true.
and the Bull, like if you see the record the Bulls have against top, I think it's like top 5 seeds in the playoffs. It's like atrocious, like 1 and something, or like it's really bad.
So
So
they're the White Sox of basketball.
yeah, yeah, basically, you know. So in that aspect, yeah, I'm gonna take. I think the Bucks. I see them playing the Bulls, just taking care of the Bulls very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Where they might have a problem is who they face in the next round. It's either going to be the Celtics, and if we predict right, the Nets win on Tuesday. It's going to be Celtics Nets. So it's going to be one of those 2 teams. If it's the Celtics, I think they breeze right through the Celtics 5 or 6 games. If it's the Nets, I think KD and Kyrie have enough to I mean, KD literally, if he was a size half inch shorter last year, Giannis is probably not a champion.
True.
You know, so we'll see. But I think the Bucks will be the team in the East. I think they have the most depth, the best players. They know what it takes to win already. They won it last year. And yeah, I got the Bucks in the East. In the West, though, I think it's very easy and safe to say the Suns. The way they've been playing, they're hot, they're good. But man, there's just so many teams that I would love to see win right now.
That's very true.
Like, I would love to see the Grizzlies win, just because I love
Hmm.
Ja Morant. I'm ready to buy the kid's jersey. Kid's a
Yeah.
stud. And then there's teams in here, like the Mavs, Luca. He just strained his calf today, so I don't know what
Hmm.
his status is. The Jazz have been kind of inconsistent all year. Nuggets, same thing. If Jokic MVP Jokic is showing up, is Jamal Murray gonna play? And if he plays, is he gonna be
Yeah.
Jamal, like 30 ball Jamal? Same thing with Michael Porter Jr. If he plays, like, is he gonna be like? Are these guys gonna be ready for playoff basketball? You
Hmm.
know, especially going up against the Warriors, who, like, if Curry's back and healthy, that's my team in the West.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's a team like even the Suns, as good as they've been playing. I think
Hmm.
the Warriors will find a way to beat them.
Oh, you got Clay, Wiggins,
Yeah,
if Curry's healthy.
Curry's healthy and playing great,
Hmm.
and then
And
Draymond's
then,
back. Like,
right.
you got to remember, like, when Clay first came back and the Warriors were kind of struggling. Like, this is what I see it in the beginning of the year when Curry and Draymond were healthy, Curry was playing amazing,
Hmm.
right? The Warriors were winning. They were like right there with the Suns, one and two C. They were like kind of fighting back and forth, and then Draymond got hurt, started trickling down. Clay came back. Everyone's like, oh, they're gonna
Right.
start. Draymond is the glue to that team.
Yeah, it is. He is.
He is the glue to that team, and I was I think it's to be Warriors Bucks.
Warriors have such a good depth too.
Yeah, the same thing
It's
with
just
the way I see it. Right, they play in the Nuggets first round. All you gotta do is stop Jokic.
right.
The rest of those guys are just
If
a lot of role
If
players. But if Murray's back and all of
and
them,
Michael Porter's
but
back,
but you
then
got
that's a completely different story.
completely different story too. But yeah, these got the Warriors play defense. Those young guys that they have
Hmm.
with Gary Payton and
Yeah.
Jordan Poole, those dudes play defense on their best. Like, Curry doesn't even have to play defense. He's guarding
Yeah.
the worst player on the court.
Hmm.
He's just out there,
That's true.
he. These guys are guarding the best players, the best guards,
Yeah.
like, and they're locked. Clay's a good defender as well.
Yep.
Like, I I think I think they're gonna handle the Nuggets. I think they sweep the Nuggets. Next round they're
Hmm.
gonna probably play the Grizzlies or the T Wolves, two teams that are inexperienced. And I think
Right.
that's where the Warriors are just like, dude, like Curry, Clay, and Draymond look at each other like,
Draymond.
dude, they're gonna be like, dude, we won three of these things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, John Morant will give them a run for their money, but I think the
Hmm.
experience is gonna kick in that round, especially, and that's when the Warriors
Yeah.
kind of, you know, run it,
Hmm.
and then we'll see. And then I predict the Suns and the Warriors to just go blow for blow, 7 games in the Western Conference Finals, and yeah, and the
Yeah.
champions.
See,
And then
that's
yeah, it's tough. And then we go from there. But I think the Bucks repeat. I think they go back to back.
really.
Yeah,
See, I'm on a whole different level than you are,
let's
man.
go. Let's show.
So,
It's your turn now.
so I think I got the Suns
Okay, Suns in the
making it.
West. Yeah,
I got Suns in the
they've
West.
played amazing. I'm not gonna take
I
that.
think they've yeah, I
They're
think
the
they've
best
played
team in.
amazing.
They're the best team for a reason.
Right. I think they've played amazing. Like you said, Luca just hurt his calf, so he
Yep.
may not be 100% even if he does play. Utah, I think they're great, but I don't think they have the firepower to keep up with the Suns. Golden State, I mean, if Curry's out or if he's not 100% healthy, we've seen him not 100% healthy in the finals, and it didn't look good, you know. Same thing with Denver. I mean, they are a solid team. They have probably the MVP of this season, but I mean, they're missing a key guy in Murray, and then also another. Well, I would say maybe they're number 3 or 4, right? And Michael Porter. If they're able to come back, like you said, I don't know if they're gonna be ready for playoff basketball. It's a whole different beast, right? Um, Memphis, Minnesota, um, like I said, too inexperienced. I think they're great teams, but I think they are missing one more guy. I think the T Wolves are missing probably maybe key, 2 key guys. Um, but I don't really see anybody taking out the Suns, right? Because you look at it, Suns most likely will be playing what, the Clippers. They take out the Clippers, and then from there they play what, either Dallas or Utah. I think they take out those guys easy, and I think they have probably the easiest route when it comes to the playoffs, and they're gonna be well rested once they get to the Western Conference, right? Finals, and then I'm looking at the Timberwolves. I'm looking at the Grizzlies, Denver, and Golden State, and they're just I could see all those going, 5+ games, 6+, maybe to the seventh game, right? And by the time they get to the Suns, are they going to be 100% healthy? A lot of them already have injuries that they've been dealing with, so I think Phoenix is going to the finals. Um, from there in the East, you are going with the Bucks. Ooh. Um, I can see that happening. I can. I mean, they arguably have another MVP. I don't know if he's going to beat Jokic out of it, but um, I mean, he's getting better and better. It doesn't look like winning MVP, doesn't look like winning a championship has stopped him. I think he's getting greedy and he wants more, right? Um, and he's a monster, but I see the Bulls, and yeah, they haven't been playing great, right? But early in the season, they looked like they were going to be contenders, right? So, um, if they are able to get hot, and even if they make them go to 6, maybe 7 games, right? Then you have to deal with either Boston or Brooklyn. They don't have an easy way to the finals. And for me, um, I think I am going with. I know I hate to say it. I
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Philly.
I would love to see Embiid in the finals.
I think I'm going with Philly. I mean, they got Toronto. Um, I they have always kind of been playing well, right? The biggest thing is they were always missing that one guy, right, in which he was just sitting out. Um, and as far as a 1-2 punch, I don't think there is a better 1-2 punch in the playoffs than those two guys. You know, you could argue that KD and Kyrie is up there, but I don't think they are that as good as what they got in Philly. I think they take out Toronto, and then they have what, they probably have either Miami, and I think they match up with Miami well. I think if anything, they're gonna give Miami a hard time, and they're either gonna face Brooklyn or Boston coming out of the
Or the
the other.
Bucks.
I think they're gonna either have Brooklyn or Boston. Um,
Giannis
you
back to
know,
back.
um, and I think they could get it done. I think they could get it done. Um, like you said, the Bucks are. You know, they've always been a solid team. They've always been, you know, um, just the depth is crazy with them. So I can see them doing it, but I think I think Philly's gonna get it done.
I'm looking at all their teams.
It's tough. It's hard for the first time like in a while. I think it's really hard to figure out who's gonna make
The
the finals.
finals, yeah. Any of these teams.
hmm
Who's winning it all though?
I'm going with the Suns.
The best team, huh? Devin Booker finally gets
I
one.
just I just feel like they've been so close each year. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had the bubble year where they didn't make the playoffs, but they went
hmm
what 8-0,
Yeah.
missed the playoffs.
The year after that.
Year after that, could make it to the finals, lose to 50 piece
hmm
Giannis and the boys.
I feel like they've learned a lot. I feel like they're really hungry.
If the
I
Suns,
think
if the Suns make it and they play anybody but the Bucks, they'll win it.
that's why I picked the Philly because I know if they played the Bucks, then that those matchups are just so difficult, dude.
Yeah, and
Um, when it comes down to it, it's all matchups, you
mm-hmm.
know. Um, and I think as far as all the matchups that Philly has, I think they match up well. The ones that the Bucks have, they those are probably the harder matchups for them.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Oh,
but let's go Suns.
Suns out, huh?
Suns out, guns out, man. I should have wore the shirt.
That would have been a great, except you got an ice horse on.
Yeah, in celebration of his Grand Slam.
You know, all right. So let us know what you guys think. Are the Lakers done for? Is there no chance of coming back?
Well, Vogel's for sure done for.
Yeah, he's the. Yeah.
Man.
What do you think the Lakers should do? Who do you got in the finals? Are you excited for the playoffs? Do you hate basketball?
You know what? The biggest thing. How do you feel about the play-in tournament and the new playoff?
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you
Yeah,
like
like
this
let us know
play-in?
about that.
You
Like
know, it's only
this.
the second year. You know,
hmm
seems like a lot of fans like it, but maybe you don't like it. You
hmm
know, let us know why you don't like it. Um, Other than that, I got nothing else about basketball. Lakers suck, so I didn't even wear my jacket or my jersey.
I'm excited for the summer. I think we're gonna make some moves.
I'm not excited. I'm interested.
We're already started making moves, dude. So I mean, come on.
You know, I'm I'm more excited for football than I am for basketball. That's a first. So,
Yeah,
but let us know what you guys think. It's your boy, Master Gaming.
this is Robert Ray.